Alright, so this is the finished product of my cake. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers. Please subscribe to my channel. If you subscribe to my channel, I will be doing a giveaway in a drawing. It's going to be up to $100 to Amazon gift card. So please subscribe to my channel. If you like my video, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Alright, YouTubers, I already made my dry ingredients for my banana pudding cake. I'm going to show you guys what all I use and how I make this cake. I will put my ingredients at the bottom of it, and then you guys can go from there. And so my dry ingredients I used 2 cups of sugar, 3 cups of cake flour, and then you use 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a half of teaspoon of baking soda, and then a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. My salt almost gone, so I'll have to buy some more. But this bottle do last for a few months if you only use enough for cakes like I do. And then that's all I have put in my dry ingredients besides my banana cream, and I put half of the bag of that. Okay. And then I just mix it together. So in my mixer now, I have is my 1 stick of butter and my half a stick of butter. I'm in here. And then I also have lemon juice. I use only a whole lemon. I use a whole lemon. A whole lemon will be perfect for the mix for the cake. And I squeeze my lemon, which is the best to do, is to squeeze your lemon. If you don't squeeze your lemon, I will go from there to tell you all to put. And then also I use 3 eggs. And then I will be using my baking vanilla, which is a half of teaspoon of my vanilla. Okay. And then I measured out how much liquor I'll be using. I guess I will use a half a cup of liquor, but I might use a 1 cup of liquor. Depends on how much I want to use. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do, I like to go ahead and mix my butter. So I'm going to go ahead and add in. I'm going to just add my eggs in. My 3 eggs. My lemon juice. And I'm going to beat my eggs a little bit. Now, I advise you not to really go that fast. And I put in some of my batter. My dry ingredient. And then I have a half of cup of buttermilk. I'm gonna pour a little bit in there. you see a lot of my batter is on here right now, right? It will come off in just a minute. I'm gonna add the rest of it in here. So by the time I add everything in there, and then add my rest of my milk, as you see, it's starting to fall just a little bit, but that's fine. I like to make sure I got all my dry ingredients out. Okay. And then add the rest of my milk. I'm gonna make sure I go ahead and have all of it in there, because some of it milk will stick, like I told you guys before. But try to get as much out you can because of the measurement. And then I'll go ahead and finish stirring that, and then after I do that, I will add my liquor in. While that's mixing, I want to add my liquor in. Okay. So what I do is I'll just make sure everything is mixed up just right. Okay, and then what I'm finna do is I'm finna go ahead and get ready to pour it in my pot. Give me just a second. Okay, so what I did was I went ahead and add rest of my banana pudding mix in, okay? It's all empty. I just went ahead and add the rest of it in because I like my mixture thick a little bit. Okay, and that's how it will come out, nice and thick. After you mix it, don't mix it too much, because if you mix it too much, it's gonna, your cake will fall. And make sure you guys did, if you see, got your sides mixed in really well. And so this is how it will look once you get it in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my pan. I'm gonna do like a small cake actually today. And make sure you spray your pan really, really good. I use a baking spray that has flour in it. Okay, so I use the Baker's Joy. And I love it, especially use it like with pound cakes and stuff, because my pound cakes and stuff will not stick to a pan if I use this. And these small pans, it took me a little bit to figure out how much cake batter to put in. And then make sure you set your oven to 350. Preheat your oven at 350. And after the oven is preheated and your mixture is done, then you could go ahead and add this in the oven, and then you will let it cook for at least I would say, since it's a small pan, I'll say at least 20 minutes. But I'm gonna double check and see if it's 20 minutes, and I'll let you guys know if it's 20. But my bigger pan, I use 20 to 30 minutes to put in the oven. Okay. And so guys, I will put everything at the bottom. So this is how much I put in. Alrighty, YouTube. Well, now the cake is done. This is the second one I just made. This one is about to go in the freezer. Put this in the freezer for at least an hour. I'll probably say an hour or 30 minutes, so you can get the cake hard. So when you get ready to decorate it, it'd be easier, and so the cake won't like break or anything like that, or crumble while you actually trying to put the icing on the cake. I hate when cake crumbles when you put icing on it. And then also I have another one. I'm gonna put this in the oven. When I put these little things in the oven, it was actually in there for like 45 minutes. I guess because the liquor in it, so it has to be in there longer. So for the other pan, the bigger pan, it should be 25 to 35 minutes for the bigger pan, or 40 minutes. But just keep an eye on it. If you use a little toothpick, can't get the word out, but toothpick. Use a toothpick, get one toothpick, and then all you gotta do is just put a little toothpick in and see if it's sticking to the toothpick, that means it's not done. If it's not sticking to the toothpick, that means it's completely finished. Just keep an eye on it. Just put it for at least 30 minutes, I say, or 35 minutes for the bigger, for 9-inch pans. And once it gets done and you stick it in there and it's still not really done yet, just let it go for another 5 minutes and then try it again, and just keep adding 5 minutes to it to see if it's done. But that's only how I'm figuring out how long to leave it in for the cake, so the cake can be completely done. But it will look like this once the cake is completely done, and then afterwards we'll start baking. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and mix for the frosting. I have the confectioner sugar I got from Publix. We're gonna use 6 cups of this, and then we're gonna use, I'm probably gonna say 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Oh, you guys, do not forget the vanilla extract in the batter. Okay, for some reason I forgot it, so I did add it in there real quick when the video wasn't playing. So make sure you add that in there. You add this in there around when you put the liquor in. Before you put the liquor in, you add this in, stir it in, and then you add the liquor. Or you can just add both of them at the same time, and then you can just mix it all together. And once it's mixed in, it's completely finished. So do not forget your vanilla extract. And so what I normally do is make sure everything is room temperature. I forgot to tell you guys that everything has to be room temperature. The butter needs to be room temperature for the cake and for the frosting. If the butter is not room temperature for the frosting, it will not turn out right. The butter cannot be melted, because then your frosting will not turn out right. I've done that before. Do not do that. So I put 2 sticks of butter in here. So I'm going ahead and I'm gonna mix it. I like using my hand mixer because I give it to mix the way I want it to mix. If the butter room temperature, it will actually mix right. And it will look like this. And then I'll go ahead and add these 6 cups of confetti sugar, confectioner sugar. Now I say go to Walmart and buy this sugar. Do not go to Publix, because Publix sugar is expensive. Like, you guys know all their stuff is expensive, right? But since Publix is right there by my house and stuff, so. And plus I was at I was at the UPS store, so, and Publix is like right next door. So ran to Publix instead because I did not feel like going to Walmart if I was right next door to Publix. If you tell, this is how I measure out. And I do make a mess everywhere, you can see. Maybe I should put my little cooking thing on. It's 1 cup. This is number 5. And honestly, it takes almost a whole bag. Actually, it takes almost a whole bag. But I still like to measure it out because the whole bag is not a whole 6 cups, I don't think. But it might be. So normally you have like a little bit left. So I completely, let's say, measure it out, get the whole complete 6 cups, and not put too much sugar in it. Confectioners. Like, some people just use a whole bag of the 2 pounds, which is not really a big deal, but depends on my texture or my mixture. Like, if I got too much, there's something in it, like my heavy cream or something, then I add the rest of the confectioner sugar in. But I like to experiment when it comes to like my liquor and how much stuff to use. So I say go ahead and mix that, but don't mix that because you get it everywhere right now. You need to go ahead and add this in there. And then this is a tablespoon. So let me grab a tablespoon. Okay, so this is a half a tablespoon, but to get a 1 tablespoon, just add 2, because I don't know what my tablespoon at. So that's it. I'm gonna add 4 tablespoons. Actually, you can add like 4 to 5 tablespoons. So at least 4 or 5 tablespoons of the heavy cream. But normally I just experiment how much to use. So you see, it's kind of, that's mine, it's right there, my icing. So my icing is thick. a little bit. If you can tell, it's thick. So normally I just look and I'm like, okay, it's thick. And what else do I need to add? I'm going to add some of my liquor in it too, real quick. I'm going to use the same. It's not a really big deal. This is all going to mix. So half. I'm probably just doing 1 tablespoon of that. And you see it's still thick. It's thick still, right? So I'm gonna add 1 more tablespoon of my heavy cream in there. So that'll be 5. See, my consistency is very important. That's just why when I make my own icing from scratch, I have to figure out how much I'm going to use in my icing or how thick I want it to be, and things like that. Especially, this depends on what kind of design I'm putting on a cake. Okay, guys, I'm hitting it everywhere. Like, I'm such a bad, Okay, that's my icing, but I'm gonna add a little more because it's thick. You see that thick the icing is? It's a little thick. I mean, which is a good consistency though. It's still good consistency, but you don't want too thin of an icing. Take a little taste of it. So I'm just add 1 more half. So this is gonna be, I think, 3 teaspoons of extract. You see my consistency is just right. Honestly, I'm probably gonna mix it a little bit more because I see some of vanilla extract, but it's perfect. I can taste the banana in it, so that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna mix it a little bit more to get that vanilla mixed in real good, and then that's it. I do that with all my liquor icing. Alright, so I kind of made a little mistake, so I went ahead and fixed it. So I did not get the part where I had put the pudding in between my layers. But when you put the pudding in between the layers, do not put that much pudding on it. If you do, your cake will slide. And so the good thing to do is get a little stick you get from Hobby Lobby or anything like that, Michael's, and you put like a little cake stick inside so it can stay in place. But I ended up putting toothpicks in mine because I kind of did not have my sticks. I thought I bought some, but really I didn't. So, so my cake started sliding in a little bit. And also the pudding will run on the side if you add too much pudding in the middle, in the center. Usually your pudding has to be thick, but still do not put as much in there. You can make cupcakes also out of this batter. If you do the cupcakes, you can easily just cut the middle out, the center, and then pipe the pudding in the center of it, and then add the little top back onto it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my icing to my piping bag. I bought this piping bag off of Amazon, and it comes with a whole bunch of these little things. Okay, and with your icing, if you like your icing creamy like mine, you can put how much I use in my recipe. You can also alter it a little bit if you don't like yours as creamy like mine. You can alter it if you like and just add like 4 is it tablespoons? 4 tablespoons. And then you go from there. You can use 4, but I use 5. So, but sometimes I'll use like 4, and I'll use a little bit more liquor. Okay. Only thing I'm doing is tying it. My kids just got from school, so you might be hearing them in the background a little bit. Okay, so I got this. And then I got my wafers. No, I know it's going to have wafers in. It's a house, and everything. That's the way I get wafers on. And I'm gonna add a little bit of pudding on top of it. And it's gonna be nice and tasty. I just if I have another piping bag, I could easily just cut and drizzle it. Top off the cake, and that's it. And that's it. And then that's my finished product for my